Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Rodrigo, your host as usual, and today we're going to talk about a book, a very important book, especially if you think about how old this book is. So today we're going to talk about Think and Grow Rich. So this is a book, this is a Spanish copy actually, but you can find it very easily in English. It has been translated to other languages as well. So I want to talk about this and why it's so important. Think and Grow Rich is a book that basically explains how to apply the law of attraction for wealth. Um, Bottom line, it teaches you the exact steps that the author has found through investigation, through experimentation, through interviews with plenty of very wealthy people across his time, 20 years or so of investigation, how to apply the law of attraction to generate your own wealth out of nothing, right? So I think one of the main reasons why book so important is because how old it is, but how recent the concept of the law of attraction has become popular in our culture at least. So let's go over it. First of all, what is the law of attraction for those of you who don't know? All right, so it's an empirical law. It's something that many people believe in. Many others don't really believe that it's true. But I'm one of the believers and one of the people who have experimented the law of attraction is as empirical as it is, at the moment at least. It's really, really something that changes how you see your life. All right. So basically says that you attract into your life everything that is in it right now and everything that will be part of your life. So whether it's great things, amazing opportunities, or doom, you have attracted it to your life, one way or the other. There's plenty of books around the topic and topics that are related that we will not cover here, but basically it says that everything that you feel, everything that you think, everything that you do is a signal that attracts or resonates with energies around the universe. So everything or the thing that you vibrate more as, the signals that you emit the most are the signals that will be reflected upon you as well. We'll go over it in detail in a different video. The concept became very famous with a book called The Secret. It was released, I think it was around the end of the 90s. We'll also cover it in a different video in this channel, but that book actually made a huge uprise of people who were willing to believe that there was more to life than the materialism that we thought. Okay, but way before The Secret became popular, it's actually there were actually a lot of people talking about it, writing books about it. One of them is Napoleon Hill with his book Think and Grow Rich. So for those skeptical about the law of attraction, you can actually investigate a little bit about quantum physics today, because as you can see, physics today understand that in certain conditions, the observer can cause an effect, which is very different from the Newtonian physics of cause and effect. Okay, so I apply a force over here, then it generates a certain effect. Now, what quantum physics uh, say today is basically you can actually change how things behave or what things are based on your will, based on the observer's will or the observer's expectations. You have a different effect. So that's quite mind-blowing if you think about it. But that's where quantum physics are right now, if you dig into it. Okay. Spirituality, on the other hand, also says you and your world become what you attract to you, what you think more often, and what you feel more often. Okay? So basically, if you feel unlucky, if you really feel unlucky constantly, then you will be constantly unlucky. If you feel happy, you will attract to you happy moments. If you feel powerful, you will experience different moments in your life where you will be able to actually affirm and confirm that power that you have. All right? So that's what law of attraction is. Now let's jump into the book itself. It was written in 1932. So if you think about it, it was more than 60 years before The Secret. Napoleon Hill was a self-help author. And this book, Think and Grow Rich, is one of the best-selling self-help books of all time, right? 1932. I would say that probably most of those copies were sold more in recent time than at the beginning. But anyways, uh, it makes his work even the most admirable because he taught people, everyone who could buy this book or get a copy of it, what is the path to becoming rich. And it stands, as I said before in the video, it stands the test of time so well that you couldn't imagine. Like 99% of this book, written and published in 1932, applies today as good or even better even than it was at the time, right? So let's talk about the contents. So as I said, law of attraction applied to wealth, right? So Napoleon Hill gives you what he says that are the 12 steps to grow rich. The book goes around half and half with the author's conclusions and thoughts and some real life stories. This person interviewed so many people that became wealthy out of nothing. Henry Ford, for example, who didn't even finish school. He proposes so many groundbreaking things that it's actually amazing what some people around history have done. And he says, okay, that was not just getting lucky. Ford did not get lucky. This other person did not get lucky. They actually applied a very specific mindset, a very specific set of steps to become wealthy and to be wealthy all their lives from that point onwards, right? He starts the book with one man who was nobody, who knew nothing about nothing and barely had money enough to make a trip to go and see Edison. So he wanted to be, his desire was to be Edison's associate. He wanted to be partner with Edison. He didn't want to work with him. No, he wanted to be his partner. He wanted to be part of his company as his equal. Okay, so Edison at the time was a very wealthy man. He patented a lot of inventions. And while there are some dark stories around Edison, I'm not gonna deny them. What you cannot deny as well is how important the person was in his time. So this man, out of nothing, came to Edison only with his burning desire to become the same as Edison. So he didn't want to be an inventor, he didn't want to be a scientist, but he wanted to be his associate, he wanted to be his partner. So what he did was work with Edison first as an employee, then as a salesperson, and he climbed his way to being Edison's associate. One of the first quotes in this book says that Edison, about this other man, explained that the only thing that he saw that convinced him to hire this person was the look in his eyes, how convinced he was of what he wanted his life to be. He didn't have anything else. He didn't even have good clothing. He was a very poor man. He ended up being extremely rich, retired from business very, very young, even for his time. Very, very young person. So that's the first story in the book. It's full of amazing stories of common people that became some of the most powerful and wealthy people of their time. I don't want to spoil the book too much because I really want you to read it and feel it and experience the book by yourself and apply your own experience to it. All right? But I just want you to understand the three first steps that, according to Napoleon Hill in this book, are going to make you wealthy. All right? So the first one is the burning deep desire. So everything starts with an idea. But the idea alone, that inspiration, I want this. I want to be this. It's not enough. You actually have to put in it everything. You have to make that become your obsession. That's what Napoleon Hill says. You have to have a burning desire for that. So that you have then the second step, which is faith. Uncontested faith. Faith so strong that can make you pass through any obstacles, any setbacks that you can have. So that three, you can convince yourself that you are already there, that you already have everything that is needed to get there, so that you can subconsciously condition yourself that that's the only thing, the only possible outcome is to get that which you want, right? Those are just the three principles in this book. It's very powerful, and it's explained in, I would say, a very, very blunt and simple way. You don't need to know anything besides reading to understand this book. I would say that probably someone with 10 or 12 years old can understand this book without any issues. And I really can't recommend it enough. You can see that it's being recommended by a host of people around the internet, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, book recommendation sites, even people who are already in personal growth. It's very well regarded, this book. And again, we are talking about a book that right now, 2022, it has more than 80 years. It has been around for more than 80 years. So I think that if you just choose it for your next reading, I think you will be able to grow your life a lot. It explains you how to apply the law of attraction for wealth. But guess what? The same principles actually apply for anything else. So if you want to use the law of attraction, if you follow pretty much the same steps in this book, but with the new context, you can actually make use of the law of attraction for your life. And that is very, very powerful. All right? Let me know in the comments what you think about the video and the book if you have read it or if you plan to read it. If you have other recommendations for books to go through or at least for me to read them, please, I want to know in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It helps us a lot to spread this word. All right? Thank you and see you in the next video. Goodbye.